up, guys? Coach Z here from Vital Force. Today I'm going to go over a few different combos of cutting angles, and I'm going to practice it a way I used to like to practice it back when I was first learning them. It's something you could do at home, since I know a lot of people out there don't have a lot of equipment that they normally do in the gym. But for this technique, all you need is shoes. It could be your shoes, your grandma's shoes, your sister's shoes. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Just steal someone's shoes, and you're going to lay them down in a stance. So you can also play with this stance if you want to try it, like if you're trying to mimic a boxer's type stance and make it more narrow. For today, I'm going to do a Muay Thai type stance, though. So I'm just going to place the shoes down on the floor like I would if there's someone standing there. And this is just going to help me use my imagination better at finding the space and the right angle. So that seems about good. A Muay Thai stance, shoulder width apart, with a step back. So those are going to lay there, and then I'm in my stance in front of my opponent. First off, we're going to be going towards our right, cutting our angle. So we're going to do a 45 cut right, and at the same time I throw my jab. And I want the jab to land at the same time my foot lands. So it looks like this. I'm going to step out, jab 45. And when I take this step, my right foot should be almost lined up with his toes. And then my jab is going to be obviously out towards his head, so towards the center of the stance. And then I'm going to throw my cross. Same position. I'm rotating my lead foot, or my now lead foot, into that cross. So now it's pointing towards my opponent. And then after that, we're going to throw the kick to the body. And so when I do this kick, I'm pulling my arm back, and I'm throwing my other hand out past him, and I'm using that to jackpot as well. So again, I'm in my stance in front of my opponent, imagining the opponent's there. And I'm stepping out, jab, cross, rotating towards the opponent, throwing the kick to the body. And that concludes that one. You can go ahead and replay that and keep working it. Now I'm going to do a skip step attack from that same position. So we're going to cut right the same way again. I'm going to cut 45-degree angle. My toes are just about lined up with his lead toes. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then after that, I'm going to throw my cross out in front of where his chest would be. So we're imagining that his toe edge would be towards his chest. I'm throwing the jab, and I'm going to do a skip step to land where my now leading foot is. So step jab, I'm going to do a skip step as I throw the cross out and kicking behind his legs. And this would result in a sweep. So again, step out jab, landing the jab on the step, skipping, landing my foot in the other foot's location, kicking behind the legs. And ideally, I want to try to land my kick across both bottom legs. So it's really reaching in there, and I'm using this jackpot to try to push his chest and make him fall over. So again, one more time. And that's it for that one. Next one, we're going to be going left. Similar scenarios. The angle is just going to be a little bit different, but we have these feet to help guide us in our position. We are going to do, from our stance, we're going to step 45 left, and we're going to cut so our lead foot is pointing. Now I'm towards the camera. My lead foot points towards the camera, so I make a T shape with his lead foot. So right now I'm perfectly 90 degrees, and I land that step at the same time I land the jab. And then same thing as last time, I'm throwing the cross out at the same time I throw my kick to the body. We'll go over it again. I'm in my stance, step jab, 45. Also, one thing to make sure you're doing is leaving this foot in front of their path. We're not coming here like a boxer. We're going to utilize this position to help block them off and to set up this kick. So we're doing the step jab, making the T shape, and then I'm throwing the arm out and throwing the kick to the body. And ideally, I want to aim right underneath the rib cage, right across the chest. Also, one thing to remember throughout this movement is that as I'm going through the movement, my shoulders are covering my chin throughout this movement. Even when I come the other direction, my other shoulder is covering my chin as well. That concludes that movement. Now we're going to go into another skip step type movement in the same direction. I'm in the stance from my opponent. Imagine him there. I'm going to do the step, and then my other foot's sliding, the jab, same as earlier, and then now I'm going to do a skip step with my lead leg. So my right leg is going to land almost in the exact same location as my lead leg, and then I'm going to throw a kick trying to get behind the back leg of my opponent. So that's where this really comes in handy, and making sure you're cutting the angle at the right distance and at the right range. So again, cutting, stepping the jab, and then throwing the kick behind the back leg and jackpotting the arm. I'll do it one more time for you guys. In my stance, step, jab, and then kick. That's all I have for you today. Go ahead and give it a shot. Use your imagination. Try to picture the opponent like he's there. Aim for the head on the punches, and then try to aim for the legs on some of those kicks in the body as well. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.